Hello friends! Today we're bringing you a special topic, social history. When we think about history, what often comes to mind are images of political leaders, wars, and grand events. But today we're going to talk about the ordinary people who shaped the social fabric of the United States. Social history focuses on changes in society from the bottom to the top and how these changes have shaped America into the nation we know today. Let's dive into how these shifts occurred and how they impacted the lives of everyday people. The history of society is centuries old. In ancient times, society was mostly based on rigid hierarchies, and life was extremely difficult for the common people. However, the history of the USA is unique. When European colonizers arrived here, they brought with them a new social structure. But even this society wasn't free from division. Early America struggled with issues like slavery, racial segregation, and the lack of women's rights. From the beginning, America's social system was divided along lines of class, race, and gender. Yet it was also in America where the seeds of change were planted, sparking profound social transformations. Slavery is one of the darkest chapters in America's social history. For centuries, African Americans were forced into slavery, subjected to unimaginable suffering. Millions of Africans were brought to the United States during the 18th and 19th centuries, and their lives were marked by hard labor and oppression. But society did not remain silent in the face of this injustice. This was where the beginnings of social change emerged. In 1865, after the Civil War, slavery was officially abolished in the United States. This marked a pivotal moment in American history, a first major step toward equality and justice. However, even after the end of slavery, racial discrimination and social inequality persisted, deeply affecting African Americans. In the mid-20th century, America witnessed another major social revolution, the Civil Rights Movement. This movement aimed to end racial segregation and discrimination against African Americans. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks led the charge. During the 1960s, the Civil Rights Movement shook the foundations of American society. The passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were monumental steps toward securing equal rights and opportunities for all Americans, regardless of race, gender, or background. This movement wasn't just about racial equality, it was a fight for justice and equality for everyone in society. When discussing social history, we must also acknowledge the struggles for women's rights and the rights of the LGBTQ+ community. Women in the U.S. had to fight long and hard for their rights. In 1920, the 19th Amendment was passed, granting women the right to vote. This was a significant social shift, giving women a voice in American society. After this, women continued to fight for equality in the workplace, in education, and in social life. Similarly, the LGBTQ+ community has fought tirelessly for their rights. The Stonewall Riots of 1969 were the catalyst for a movement that demanded inclusion and equality for all people, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. In the 21st century, the LGBTQ+ community achieved major victories, such as the right to same-sex marriage, marking a crucial milestone in social history. Today, America has learned a great deal from its social history. Advances in technology, education, and law have made society more open and inclusive. We now live in a world where people are empowered to speak out for their rights. However, social challenges still exist. Racial inequality, gender discrimination, and economic disparities remain part of the social fabric. To tackle these issues, we must look to our social history for inspiration and keep striving for progress.